Standing plans are policies, procedures, methods, and rules that can be applied to recurring situations. They're also called repeat use plans. A policy is a standing plan that serves as a guide to making decisions. Origin of policies means that company-wide policies are originated by top management, while departmental policies are established by supervisors. Some policies are imposed by external forces, such as government or labor unions. Written policy statements promote consistency of decision-making throughout an organization or are subject to periodic review. Supervisory or departmental policies are rarely issued by supervisors. Supervisors usually interpret, apply, and explain existing policies when making decisions. Occasionally, supervisors may encounter situations for which no policy is applicable. If higher management has never issued a policy for such a situation, the supervisor should request that his or her boss issue such a policy so that there is consistency throughout the company. A procedure is a standing plan that defines the sequence of activities to be performed to achieve objectives. Procedures are guides to action. Policies are guides to thinking. All supervisors must follow the same procedure, the same chronological sequence of actions for a particular activity. Procedures encourage uniformity of action and predictable outcomes. A method is a standing plan that details exactly how a single operation is to be performed. It's even more detailed than a procedure. When developing methods, supervisors should enlist the help of methods engineers or motion and time study specialists if such efficiency experts are available in the organization. Supervisors with well-trained employees will rely less on procedures and methods than supervisors whose employees are less well prepared. A rule is a directive that must be applied and enforced whenever applicable. A rule is a very specific standing plan for which there must be consistency. Single-use plans are used to accomplish a specific objective or to cover only a designated period of time. Examples of single-use plans include budgets, programs, and projects. A budget's a plan that expresses anticipated results in numerical, usually financial terms, for a stated period of time. The supervisor's role in budgeting usually means preparing budgets that require a great deal of specific numerical planning at various levels in the organization. Supervisors, as well as higher management, should participate in developing the budgets for their departments. Budget reviews are also control devices used to compare estimated and actual results at regular budget reviews. A program is a major single-use plan for a large undertaking related to accomplishing the organization's goals and objectives. A project is a single-use plan for accomplishing a specific non-recurring activity. A supervisor is responsible for planning for resource use. One of the things he or she has to do is make sure that there's efficient space usage. A supervisor often analyzes a floor layout chart to determine whether there is sufficient space to do the work and whether or not the space has been laid out properly. Supervisors also have to make use of other physical resources. Supervisors must make sure that employees are using equipment properly and that it's properly maintained. When warranted, a well-documented request for new equipment should be submitted to upper management. It's the supervisor's responsibility to protect a company's substantial investment in materials by preventing misuse or theft. Recently, companies have enlisted the help of IT specialists to protect the company's valuable computer data. To maintain a safe work environment, supervisors must observe OSHA and other safety regulations. Safety committees help supervisors develop safer work areas and enforce safety regulations. In order to get employees to contribute to their fullest capabilities, supervisors must focus on improving methods of recruiting, selecting, training, communicating with, appraising, and rewarding employees. Though usually considered exceptions or emergency measures, supervisors should anticipate and plan for a certain amount of overtime and absences, including vacation or holiday time off. For the most part, work arrangements like flex time, job sharing, and telecommuting result in lower absenteeism and tardiness rates and higher morale and productivity. Temporary employees may be hired by agencies and assigned to short-term employment elsewhere, or they may be hired directly by the firm themselves as interim employees. Time is one of the supervisor's most valuable resources. Supervisors may seek the input of their employees or of a specialist to look for ways to increase productivity, lower costs, or improve the quality of a product or service. Many supervisors use just-in-time inventory control systems. This helps them schedule materials to arrive precisely when they're needed in the production process. A Gantt chart is a graphic scheduling technique that allows the activity to be scheduled on the vertical axis and necessary completion dates on the horizontal axis. A PERT is a flow chart for managing large programs and projects that show the necessary activities with estimates of the time needed to complete each activity and the sequential relationship of activities. Total quality management is an organizational approach involving all employees to satisfy customers by continually improving goods and services. Knowledge management is a systematic storage, retrieval, dissemination, and sharing of information. Benchmarking is the process of identifying and improving upon the practices of the leaders. Every company risks crisis, and supervisors must prepare for the unexpected. Crisis management planning involves identifying the unthinkables, developing a plan for dealing with them, developing contingency plans, forming crisis teams, and simulating crisis drills. Furthermore, supervisors should foster an organizational atmosphere of learning where response time is immediate and apologies are given when warranted. A person's perception affects his or her definition of crisis. What seems a mild problem to one person may be a full-fledged crisis to another. Employees should know an organization's plans and procedures for dealing with potential crises and should make themselves aware of how others have coped in their own crisis situations.